Penn State, who was throwing their players were throwing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at Michigan during the halftime after getting absolutely dominated and embarrassed in Ann Arbor. I think they were outgained by 320 yards. That was the easiest live bet I've ever made in my life. It was like Michigan minus 4.5, despite having right after the pick six. I was texting a friend. I was like, "What?" He's like, "Should we hit Michigan minus what was it? 7.5 live?" It was like 18-1 first downs, and I'm like, "Let's wait. Let's wait to see if something happens here." As soon as I said that, pick six minus 4.5 live, which then just started taking off. I mean, it was just complete domination from start to finish. Penn State was exposed. They're hosting a Minnesota team who's lost 2 straight. Both of these teams, like, seasons are pretty much over for what they wanted to do. It's like, who shows up here? Who gets up off the mat? I think is a serious question. Also, who's going to play quarterback for each team? You also have Minnesota's offensive coordinator was at Penn State. There's a lot of questions here. I do know that Ibrahim, their running back for Minnesota, is back, and Minnesota, who is a snail, is going to pound him. They have a huge offensive line, and Penn State, outside of Mustafa, is small on the defensive line, and they can be run on. And I'm assuming that's the formula for Minnesota. I don't know if it's probably going to be this Greek kid from Chicago, who hasn't started a game since 2019 in high school. His 2020 high school season got canceled due to COVID. Last year he redshirted. Last week he came in and was 4 of 12 with 2 picks against Illinois. So I don't know how much you could trust him to throw it. Tanner Morgan has been throwing it well. So I think this is just line up, run Ibrahim all day. This might be an under. And Penn State's offense is broken. They just have no explosiveness. The right tackle's an issue. Clifford's not playing well. Their run stats are misleading. I don't know who you're going to get a quarterback for either of these teams, but I would maybe lean Minnesota, lean under. A lot of uncertainty still midweek. Any thoughts?
Yeah, Sean Clifford has been practicing, I think today and yesterday, so he is.
But he might be a healthy scratch, though.
I would make him a healthy scratch.
Franco might be let's go with Aller,
Yeah, I mean, they've been asking for the fan base, the donors, everybody's been asking for a change here anyways. To me, this is Minnesota all the way. I debated making them the money line underdog parlay here, but I didn't. I'll go with someone else. We'll talk about that later. But a very clean call on Michigan and their ground attack to run Penn State up a flagpole is exactly what happened last week. And Minnesota can absolutely do the same. Mo Ibrahim, 4.7 yards after contact. Penn State's going to have to bring a sack lunch, especially for the backups. Bryce Williams and Trey Potts, they both average more than 3 yards after contact, and they both created a combined 24 missed tackles. Manny Diaz is done. They've made some good numbers on defense, but they're 113th in tackling. You're not going to be able to bring down Ibrahim, Bryce Williams, and Trey Potts with arm tackles. It's just not going to happen against this Minnesota offense. So the biggest stat in this game is the Minnesota offense is when they get into passing downs, when they get behind schedule. The Gophers are the #1 team in the nation in passing down success rate. They just seem to find a way to make first downs when they get behind the chains. You turn to the other side of that, the Penn State defense is 107th in passing down success rate. They have not been able to stop anybody once they get into long down and distances. So listen, Minnesota runs at 31 seconds per play. It's going to be a run fest. If Sean Clifford plays, that's going to turn into turnover-worthy plays. In favor of Minnesota, I like Minnesota, not just cover, upset. Give me it all with the Gophers here.